Well, guys, it's Labor Day weekend, and most of you guys are out there taking a nice vacation, enjoying your time off, but not us. We're laboring. So what do we got going on this weekend, Gary?
So we're going to be trying to do as much insulation and drywall as we can. It is a little later in the day, and we're going to try to get as much done as we can today and just keep on working this weekend.
So we only have one area of the basement that actually really needs the insulation, and we're not talking about the ceiling as of yet. That's coming, but not right now. Where we got to do the insulation at right now is this front wall. So this front wall right here where the windows and doors go, it's going to get filled up with insulation before we put on the drywall. The main reason why we're filling this with insulation is because it's the only exterior wall that doesn't already have insulation. When Gary and I were doing all of the waterproofing and putting in all of the French drains and everything to the exterior, we actually run on the outside of the building. It's a foam insulation that goes on kind of like panels, and then it gets buried underneath with everything. And so the exterior of the basement is completely good to go. All of the cells for the blocks are also filled with concrete, so we are protected in that area as well. But because our basement is a walkout basement, even though the cells are filled with concrete, we wanted to take that extra preventative measure and make sure to build the false wall out and fill that wall up with the insulation.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to start working on right now. As soon as that's done, we might be fitting in some drywall. We'll see.
Let's see what the day brings.
And we'll work as much as we can. So. All right, you ready, Gary?
Let's get it.
All right, let's do it. So what are you doing, babe?
All right, so before we put the insulation in, I want to spray for bugs and kill any bugs, if there is any, before we start closing in this area. I think it'll be a smart move, and we don't have to worry about it later on. We can spray outside. Hopefully they don't get back in there or anything else, but you never know. Home defense, insect killer. So there's a lot of bugs on here that it says it kills. I've used it for probably about 7 years, and in Arizona, this was the only thing that really kept away all the scorpions and everything else, so I like it.
Get it.
Get the bottom plate. Back to the door. Ha! I sprayed pretty good. All right, now that I sprayed all that in there, it's time for the insulation. Let's get it.
Well, good morning, friends.
Morning, morning.
Well, yesterday we got this front wall completely insulated in, and man, it looks so good.
Yes. I'm really happy about that.
Yep.
Now it's drywall.
Yeah, today we're moving on to drywall. So Gary has actually gotten this area all cleaned up behind us. You can see that the drywall is now accessible, which is fantastic.
So we do have these nifty little outlet finder thingies for hanging drywall and everything. Thank you, Anthony, over at Country Road here. He got sent this. He wasn't able to use it because he had all his plugs already in, and he didn't want to take out his in order to use this thing. It's a lot more work in that aspect. So since I don't have my plugs in, I can use it. But basically, it's got a little arrow on it. So you point the arrow up, put this guy in, you get your drywall up, and then this guy will actually cinch onto it really nice and give you a perfect outline of where your box is. So you don't have to measure or try to guess. And this should help us tremendously. That thing's a strong magnet. So let's try it out. We shouldn't have to worry too much about staggering on this wall. And the only reason why is because we have a window after 8 feet, and then we've got the door after 8 feet, and then another window after 8 feet. So the line should line up underneath and over the window, as well as over the door, and then over and under the window over there. So shouldn't take too long. I am going to have it up off the ground by 1/2 inch. So I've got my zip board underneath there to try to give me my spacing of 1/2 inch for the bottom. And pull this guy. Make sure it's butted up against this wall as best as it's going to be. I've got this outlet in here. Now, I've got this. I don't know where it is, but should be able. Oh, locks it in right where it is. And now we can go ahead, mark this outlet. Supposedly, that's where our outlet is, right there. Score this guy out with the razor blade. And scoring it makes it to where I can like this in. Now we should be able to slide this guy. Well, it's a tight fit. Put that one in over there.
Yay, the first piece of drywall.
That is the nail plate.
Oh. Good to know. It won't go in there. It won't be hurting no wires.
Nope.
So we got this part of the wall done, and now we're gonna move on to the part over the door. Gary had to get some good measurements for that, eh, babe?
Oh, yes.
Was that tricky?
I mean, it is, but it's not. You just have to make sure you know what side you're marking on. I almost screwed it up because I was just going with the motion, and I marked it right here, just 30 inches of the door itself, and I went to the top just because You know, if you're just moving and grooving and not looking at it and thinking about it before you mark it out, you'd screw yourself up. And I was like, wait, can't do that. I need the cutout to be lower, not higher. So yeah. Thankfully I caught it. But it's very easy to screw up on drywall if you don't pay attention. You get this guy down, just like that, where it needs to be. Give it a tap. There you go. I need that razor blade. You just sit that down like that.
We got the whole front wall insulated and drywalled. It is hung up. It looks fantastic, Gary. You freaking rock.
And it was fun. I mean, it wasn't too crazy.
No.
Thankfully, we had the windows and everything to where all the seams line up above or underneath the window or the door. So.
And that tool helped out a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The tool made
very handy.
Cutting out those electrical outlet boxes perfectly.
Yep.
So that was cool. That was pretty nice and neat and easy to do. But I'm happy. I'm super happy. All the cuts came out good, everything else. Well, we do have a little bit left to do at the top. It's like a sliver. I'm gonna have to cut like a 2.5 inch piece because the wall is 8 foot 3 inches.
Yeah.
And no matter which way you dice it, it's only gonna be 8 feet with the boards that we got over here, so.
True.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you would have to do that 3-inch little cut for the very top, but
Correct.
It looks really good. There's like that tiny little piece we got to cut. We're also going to be putting in some drywall in the window frames, and we're going to get some corner pieces so that way it can all be smooth when we do the mudding. But for today and for right now, man, I'm super happy with the progress. It looks fantastic. It's actually about that time. We actually got to get out of here. We're going to go over to Come On Mountain and enjoy Labor Day weekend festivities over there. So. Yes. We're going to be getting, so.
It's going to be a good time. We're going to relax over there, have a good relaxing time.
Some good groceries.
Eat some good food, yeah.
So.
It's going to be good.
We're going to get on out of here, guys, but we will, to be continued.
Correct.
Hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.